compensation and negotiation. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down all the different parts of the compensation piece and how to negotiate when it comes to an offer so that the next interview you go into, you can be a lot more confident knowing exactly how to handle the different pieces of this question. Hi career seekers, I'm Renee the Career Coach, and as a recruiter I have interviewed thousands of candidates, and you'd be surprised there is a clear difference in what candidates follow these 7 tips and which ones don't. And I will tell you that the ones that follow these tips are more likely to get more money and more likely to get the job. So stick around, and if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button because I'm uploading new content every week. All right, let's get into it. The first thing to note is that negotiations start in the very first interview. When the recruiter asks you how much money you want to make in your next job, they are taking note of that number that you share, and when it comes all the way back around to the final offer, they are going to remember that number that you shared. Sometimes later in the process, candidates will come back around when they feel like an offer is getting close, and they'll add $10,000 or $30,000 or sometimes even $50,000 on top of their original ask. And honestly, it doesn't look that great. It looks like they're in it just for the money because they know an offer is coming and they want to see how much money they can get out of it. So the more consistent you can be with that first number you share, the better. Now, one thing to note is that you need to aim high when sharing that first number. If you're really looking for $80,000, go ahead and share that you're looking for $90,000 or $95,000. Always aim higher than what you're actually wanting. But you might be asking yourself, how do I even know what to ask for in the first place? And that leads us to number 2, do your research. If you get nothing else out of this video, please let this one stick. You need to make sure that you're doing your research before going into an interview so that you know if you're coming in too high or if you're coming in too low and lowballing yourself. There's several websites out there like Glassdoor and PayScale where you can go and check what the market data is for jobs that you're applying for. And that way, when you go into the interview, you're able to come in and answer this question a lot more confidently. And the more confidently you answer this question, the better you're going to look to the recruiter. Number 3, do not ask what this job pays, especially in the first interview, because honestly, it makes it look like you're just in it for the paycheck. The recruiter is going to ask you something along the lines of, so what are you looking to make in your next job? And that will open the door perfectly for you to talk about compensation with them. However, do not push it back to the recruiter and say, well, I'm not really sure, or can you give me an idea of where the range starts? Because as soon as you do that, you're giving control to the recruiter. I can guarantee you they are not going to give you the midpoint or the high point of the range. They're going to give you the low end of the range. So for example, if the job pays $100,000 and you ask them, well, can you give me an idea of where the range starts? They're going to say something like $60,000 or $70,000. And then if you come back and say, well, actually, I was hoping more for $100,000, they're going to say something along the lines of, well, that may be too high. We'll have to see what we can do. You've already given them control and they're telling you, hey, this is what the range is. And you're either going to agree to something that is lower than what you could actually get, or you're just going to look a little indecisive. So remember this, when you share what you're looking for first in the conversation, it actually gives you more control. Number 4, don't give a range. Instead, give a specific number. So instead of asking for $80,000, instead ask for $80,750. That looks a lot more specific and precise and like thought has gone into it instead of just throwing a number out there. And when they do ask, why such a specific number, you'll be able to tell them, well, I've done my research and according to the market data and with the value that I'll be bringing to the company, I feel like that is a fair ask. Number 5, don't be afraid to mention other companies that you're interviewing with or that you have another offer on the table. Now, I would not lie about this, But know that as soon as the company knows that you've got another offer on the table or you're getting close to the end of the interview process with another company, they are going to do whatever they can to get you, and they're going to want you even more. Number 6, always negotiate before accepting an offer. Don't be afraid that negotiating the offer will get it taken off the table. Unless you seem disinterested or non-committed, they're not going to take the offer off the table just because you're asking for more money. In fact, they expect you to. A lot of the times the recruiter is going to have a little extra money in their back pocket that they are able to give you in the case that you do negotiate. And finally, number 7, know how to negotiate. When negotiating compensation, be ready to back up your ask. Don't tell them you need more money for personal reasons like housing costs or student loans or putting your kid through college. Instead, share with them the value that you're going to be bringing to the table, and they will be much more likely to give you what you're asking for. I hope all of this was very helpful for you. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or things you would like to see in my next video, go ahead and leave that in the comment section below. If you'd like additional help with interviews, go ahead and download my free interview checklist, which is linked in the description below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.